Hello everyone. Through this video we are going to work on assignment number 2. पिछले वीडियो में हम लोगों ने असाइनमेंट नंबर 1 के 5 प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट को कवर किया था and this assignment number 2 basically deals with decision making codes. So let me share my screen. Okay, so the problem statement is write a C program to print whether number is 0 or positive or negative. So if else का use करके let us see like how we can go on working across this program. So as discussed in the previous video, we are going to use form.c file instead of typing this every time, and we'll save it as demo6.c, right? Okay, and here I'll use a variable of type integer and we'll accept this integer value from user. Printf and through scanf we'll accept it in digit format and store it at address of number, right? Now we need to take the decision. So if statement, if number is greater than 0, the decision will be printf entered number is positive. Else में decision लेंगे, we'll use one more if here and we'll say number is less than 0, then we'll say printf entered number is negative. And if we come here in one more else, it is very confirmed that number is not greater than 0 as well as not less than 0. So it must be 0. Entered number is 0. So let's check how it works. Compiler is happy. If I am entering number 12, entered number is positive. Let's check another case. -4, entered number is negative. And if I run this, 0, entered number is 0. This is how the basic concept of if else works. So let's close this. Let's open form.c file and save it as demo7.c. Let us observe first the problem statement of code number 7. It says like write a program to print whether the given number is divisible by 5 and 7. So यहाँ पे ending का condition है, the number should be divisible by 5 and 7 both. So let's see how we can go with. I'll maximize the screen. We need alter enter combination to maximize the screen, right? Okay, so integer number. Let's go on accepting this with printf accept it in digit form and store it at address of number, right? Okay, now we need to take the decision. यहाँ पे if number is divisibility test करना है तो we go with the mod operator because remainder must be 0, then you can say like certain things as divisible by that entity, right? Number mod 5 is equal to 0, ये पहला condition है, तो वो number divisible होना चाहिए 5 से. And second condition I'll be testing here only and operation में number का mod with 7 is equal to 0, right? Okay, and if this is so, we'll print that entered number is divisible by both 5 and 7. Else में will say printf entered number is not divisible by 5 and 7. Now let's go on checking this. We'll first save the code, compile it. Compiler is happy. Let's run the code. Let us check for positive result. 35 is the number which is divisible by 5 as well as 7. So entered number is divisible by both. Let us say the another case for execution. If I mention 21, it is divisible by 7, but it is not divisible by 5. So entered number is not divisible by 5 and 7. यहाँ पे ending का case है, right? Okay. So this is how one more simple code for decision making. Let's save it. Let's close it, and we'll open the next form.c. We'll save it as demo8.c. Right? Let's see the problem statement for demo 8. It says write a C program to find the greatest of three numbers using if-else form and by using conditional operator. Right? We need to accept three numbers and check like which is the greatest number, right? We need to do this by using two different aspects, two different ways. One is by using if-else and other one is by using conditional operator. So let's move into the code. Here I need three numbers. So I'll say integer number 1, comma, number 2, comma, number 3. We can initialize multiple variables of type, same type by using such kind of construct. So now I'll go on accepting enter number 1, right? Okay, we'll accept it into %d and num1, address of num1. Then we'll go with printf enter number 2 and we'll scanf it as accept it in digit format and store it at address of num2. And one more aspect, enter number 3 and scanf it as %d and number 3, right? Okay, now the next is यहाँ पे I get number 1, number 2 and number 3, and now I need to take the decision which number is greatest out of this, right? So if it's a simple one, number 1 को पहले check करेंगे. If number 1 is greater than number 2, if number 1 is greater than number 2 and number 1 is greater than number 3, then it's a greater than both of them. So यहाँ पे I'll go with the printf as number 1 is greater or greatest. Number 1 is greatest. Now when the control comes in else, one more condition here I'll be testing. Number 2 is it greater than number 1 and number 2 is it greater than number 3. And here surely we can go for printing as number 2 is greatest, right? Okay, else यहाँ पे already दो number test किए है तो last वाले else में it is very sure that then in that case the remaining number, that is number 3 is greatest. Right? Okay, now let's check whether this works or not. Compiler is happy. Let's run this. I have first number 12, next number 34, next number let's say 10. So greatest number is 34. Number 2 is greatest, right? Okay, now here let us check for rest of the condition also. If I mention number 1 as greatest, number 1 is greatest, and last condition has to be checked. Number 3 is greatest. Number 3 is greatest. This is how we can manage this aspect with the help of what? If else. Now, if we want to do the same thing by using conditional operator, what I'll do is I'll just make this particular part as what? Comment. Now, here I'll use one more variable here, temp as well as result. Let's see how to use this. So in this case, I'll say like temp is equal to, if number 1 is greater than number 2, if number 1 is greater than number 2, then pass a number 1, else pass a number 2. So here I am able to get like the result or the decision of whether number 1 is greater or number 2 is greater. So इन दोनों में से जो भी number greater है, that will come in temp, right? Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll mention one more conditional operator as result is equal to, if temp is greater than number 3, if temp is greater than number 3, then we can say like return temp, else return number 3, right? So after this testing, we get the entire result in number 3. Sorry, entire result in what? Result as a variable. So printf, and here we'll go on using greatest number is, and उस number को ही print कर देता है, right? And that will be in the result form. So let's see, save it, compile it, and run it. First number is 12, next number 34, next number is 56. So greatest number is 56. Third number को उसने greatest दिखाया. Now if I run it again, please observe 45, 34, and 12. Greatest number is the first number. Now if I run this for checking whether second number is greater or not, first number is 23, next is 56, next is 7, let's say next is 12, right? So second number is greatest. So it gives me the greatest number. This is how we can go with checking it with the help of conditional operator, right? Okay, I hope this is clear. Now let's see the next code. The next code, problem statement number 9. Write a C program to check whether entered year value is leap year or not. We have seen in theory sessions that how to calculate the corresponding year as a leap year or not. If it is divisible directly by 400, then we can conclude that it's a leap year. But second checking is divisible by 4 but not with 100. So दो conditions को test करके we'll decide whether it's a leap year or not. Let's move to the code. Let me maximize this. We'll save it as demo9.c, right? Okay, and here we'll go with integer year. Let's accept the year value, enter year, scanf करेंगे, digit format में accept करके store it at address of year, right? Now the next is, here we need to take the decision, and first condition is year value mod 400, if it is equal to what? 0, then you can directly conclude that entered year is leap year, right? Okay, else we need to check now here two conditions. If year value, let's do it like this, year value divisible by 4 and year value divisible by 100 should not be equal to what? 0. So this condition says that it's a leap year. Printf entered year is लिखते हैं is leap year, else it is very sure that it's not a leap year, right? Okay, let's save it, compile it. Compiler is happy, and let's run it. For example, if it is 1600, the year is divisible by 400 directly, so it's leap year, right? Now next is, if I run the code, if I say 1608, hey, it's also a leap year. But if I go on checking it for 1700, it's not a leap year, right? Simple code. By using the if else again, we can go on checking whether certain year value is leap year or not, right? Okay, so we'll close this. We'll open form.c and we'll save it as demo10.c. Let's see the next code, what problem statement says. Right. Write a program to accept result in percentage from user and display its class as follows. So we need to accept the marks from the user and we'll decide whether it is in first class with distinction or in first class or in higher second class or in second class or pass class and fail. So accordingly, I need to go on testing the condition. This is again, we are going to focus on how to use if else with multiple condition testing. So here we'll go with integer marks and we'll go on accepting it from user. Enter marks and scanf, accept it in digit format and store it in marks. And now on the basis of the marks, we need to take the decision. So let's begin with first class with distinction. So if marks is greater than or equal to 66 and marks are less than or equal to 100, then if it is in this range, then you can go with printf first class with distinction, right? Now else में आएंगे and ORIC decision will check it if marks is greater than or equal to 60 and marks is less than 65. Sorry, marks is less than 66. So that we can go on printing printf it's first class, right? Okay, now what you can do is you can just copy paste this if else for further conditions and then we can go on deciding further results, right? Okay, so if the marks is greater than or equal to 56 and if it is less than 60, then the student's result is in higher second class. तो यहाँ पे change करेंगे higher second class, right? Now next is if the marks are greater than or equal to 50 but less than 56, then the student is in second class result. Now, if the marks is greater than 40, greater than or equal to 40 and less than 50, then it's a pass class result. And if it is not like that, then obviously we don't need this if. If it does not fit within And then in else we can go on writing something like this, right? Printf, and here we'll say fail. So let's see. Compiler is happy. If I put a result as 89, it says first class with distinction, right? If I run the code and check like 66, it must be first class with distinction. Let's run it again. 59, it's a higher second class. Let's run it again. 65, it should be first class. Let's run it again. 55, it should be second class. Let's run it again. 49, it should be pass class. And if I go with 35%, it's fail result. Simple way of working across this, right? Okay. So I hope key decision making codes are clear by this 5 problem statement. More you practice with different problems, more you will be achieving confidence into the programming. So thanks for the watching. See you in the next assignment with next 5 problem statement. Thank you.